Before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more magical stories like this one. Hello folks, I'm here to take you on a spellbinding journey. Today, we're going to explore a tale as old as time, filled with magic, mystery, and adventure. Our story revolves around a young maiden named Rapunzel, renowned for her cascading magical hair. Unfortunately, our heroine finds herself ensnared within the confines of a towering prison, courtesy of a wicked witch. Now let's dive into the enchanting world of Rapunzel. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a couple, brimming with the desire to start a family. Yet as much as they yearned, they found themselves childless. Each day the wife would gaze longingly at the lush garden next door, owned by a crafty witch. This garden was home to a special plant, a rampion, which the wife craved more than anything else in the world. One day the husband, driven by love and desperation, made a daring choice. He sneaked into the witch's garden to steal the rampion for his wife, but alas, he was caught by the witch. To save himself, he made a hasty promise, a promise that would change their lives forever. He promised their firstborn child to the witch. In due course, the wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, and so the witch named the child Rapunzel and took her away. In a secluded tower, hidden deep within the forest, lived Rapunzel. Now this wasn't your average life for a young girl, but for Rapunzel it was all she knew. The tall stone tower, devoid of doors or stairs, was her world, her sanctuary, and her prison all in one. Rapunzel's days were filled with solitude and simplicity. She busied herself with chores, read the few books she had over and over, and sang melodic tunes that echoed throughout the surrounding forest. But the most remarkable aspect of her existence was her extraordinary hair. It was long, golden, and imbued with a magical essence that could heal and rejuvenate. Every day as the sun began to set, an old witch would visit the tower. Now this was no ordinary witch. This was the same witch who had stolen Rapunzel from her parents when she was just a baby. She had kept Rapunzel in this tower, away from the world, using her magical hair to retain her youth and vitality. The witch would stand at the base of the tower and chant, "Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair!" And like a golden waterfall, Rapunzel's hair would cascade down, providing a ladder for the witch to ascend. This peculiar ritual was the only contact Rapunzel had with the outside world. In the confines of her tower, Rapunzel dreamt of the world beyond. She wondered about the strange sounds that drifted in from the forest, the birds that she heard but never saw, and the endless sky that she could only glimpse from her window. Despite the monotony, Rapunzel remained hopeful, finding joy in her books, her chores, and her songs. For her, this was life, and she knew no other. But fate, as we know it, has a way of intervening when least expected, and so it was with Rapunzel. Little did Rapunzel know her life was about to change dramatically. One day, a handsome prince was riding through the forest. His noble steed trotted along the leaf-covered path, while the prince's mind wandered, caught in the web of his own thoughts. Suddenly, a melodious tune danced its way through the forest, a melody so enchanting that it pulled at the prince's heartstrings, compelling him to seek its source. As he followed the captivating sound, he found himself standing before a tower, its tall silhouette reaching for the sky, alone amidst the vast forest. From its solitary window, the enchanting notes spilled forth, painting the air with their beauty. It was Rapunzel's voice, her song, that had drawn the prince to this secluded place. But the tower had no door, no apparent way to reach the angelic voice that resided within. The prince was puzzled, but his curiosity soon met its reward. From his hiding spot among the trees, he observed a curious spectacle. An old witch approached the tower and called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair!" To his amazement, a cascade of golden locks tumbled down from the tower's window, providing a ladder for the witch to climb. Armed with this newfound knowledge, the prince waited for the witch to leave. Then, mimicking her chant, he called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair!" And just as before, the golden ladder fell down. The prince, with a heart pounding like a drum, climbed the tower and finally met the owner of the beautiful voice. Their meetings became a secret shared between two hearts. The prince would visit, they would share stories, laughter and dreams, all under the veil of the night. These moments of joy and companionship breathed life into Rapunzel's lonely existence, casting a warm glow over her days in the tower. And so, their secret meetings continued, filling Rapunzel's life with joy. Each day became a cherished memory, a precious gem in the treasure chest of their shared experiences, as they built their bond, unbeknownst to the outside world. But as they say, no secret remains hidden forever. In the heart of the silent woods, the witch's tower stood tall, hiding a secret that was about to unfold. The witch, cunning and observant, began to notice the change in Rapunzel. Her laughter echoed a little louder, her eyes sparkled a bit brighter, and her songs carried a strange, joyous tune. The witch, fueled by suspicion, decided to keep a closer watch. One fateful day, the witch's suspicions were confirmed. As the prince ascended the tower, the witch's fury knew no bounds. Betrayed by Rapunzel, her precious captive, the witch's wrath turned the once peaceful tower into a place of fear and despair. In her rage, she seized Rapunzel's beautiful golden hair, the very hair that had been the prince's ladder, and with a swift stroke of her silver knife she cut it off. Rapunzel's beautiful locks, her crowning glory, fell to the ground, lifeless and dull. But the witch didn't stop there. She banished the heartbroken Rapunzel to a barren desert, far away from the tower, far away from any hint of happiness. The tower that once echoed Rapunzel's melodious songs now stood silent, filled with the witch's malevolent satisfaction. The prince, unaware of the terrible turn of events, arrived at the tower as the sun began to set. The witch, still seething with anger, decided to trick the unsuspecting prince. She let down the cut-off hair, and the prince, assuming it was Rapunzel, began his ascent, unaware of the cruel trickery. As soon as he reached the tower's window, the witch revealed her deceit. With a maniacal laugh, she pushed the prince from the tower. He fell onto a thorny bush, and the thorns pierced his eyes, blinding him on the spot. The wicked witch thought she had won, but true love is not so easily defeated. In the harsh desert, Rapunzel gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Life in the wilderness was not easy for our favourite long-haired heroine. Yet, with the same determination she had shown in the tower, Rapunzel adapted to her new surroundings. She built a humble home and cared for her twins with all the love in her heart. Meanwhile, the prince, now blind, was wandering aimlessly, driven by the memory of Rapunzel's lovely voice. He roamed from place to place, hoping against hope to find his lost love. His heart ached with every step he took, but he pressed on, fueled by the love he held for Rapunzel. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. Yet the prince never lost hope. He knew in his heart that he would find Rapunzel, no matter how long it took. One day, a familiar melody reached his ears. He followed the sound, his heart pounding with anticipation. Could it be? Could it really be her? As he drew closer, he recognized the tender lullaby that Rapunzel used to sing from her tower. Tears welled up in his eyes, not of sadness, but of joy. And then there she was, Rapunzel, with her twins playing by her side. Their reunion was as emotional as it was beautiful. Rapunzel rushed towards the prince, tears streaming down her face. She embraced him, her tears falling on his eyes. And then, a miracle. His sight was restored. Overwhelmed with joy, they held each other close, promising never to part again. Their love had endured the trials of time and the cruelty of a wicked witch. It had brought them together again, proving that true love knows no bounds. And so they returned to the prince's kingdom, where they lived happily ever after. Their story serves as a reminder that love and kindness can overcome even the toughest of obstacles, and that good always triumphs over evil. It's a tale of resilience, courage, and the enduring power of love.